Hi everyone, my name is Emily Pinon. I'm the creative director at Eau de la Rose and the founder of Bastille Flowers and Events, which is now Ode Events. And I'm here today to show you how to make a really easy, beautiful spring flower arrangement. And I'm hoping it takes us 15 minutes. We'll see. Let me take you through the elements we have. So, of course, I have my beautiful little compote bowl that I've already put lukewarm water in and flower food. We have this great little designing device called the Instant Arranger that we're gonna put over the top of our vase. I have a pair of clippers. I have ruscus. This is Italian ruscus. It's normally really long that I've already cut into a lot of different bits. And we're gonna use that as step one. And I have two different types of flowers. We have this gorgeous tulip and we have daffodils, which all of this I bought at my local deli. So these are flowers that you can find at Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and your local supermarket. So let's get started. I have the Italian ruscus that I've already cut up. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but we're gonna fill in the base of the vase. Because we have so many stems and we need to have a foundation to work with to help anchor the stems as we place them, we need something in here. And we don't want to use a floral foam because that's really bad for the environment. So this is a really easy, eco-friendly way to design. Everybody's always concerned when there are leaves in the water that it's going to promote bacteria growth. And yes, that does happen, but we're going to be changing the water every day. Basically, once our design is done, we can put it in our sink, turn the faucet on, for a minute and let all that old water flush out and it'll fill up with fresh, clean water. So, here, Instant Arranger. It stretches, so I hold it with two hands and I'm gonna just slip it right over, just like that. So, now we have our container ready to go. The next thing we wanna do is prepare our flowers, which I've already prepared most of them. With the daffodils, actually, they have this little crinkly portion of the petal. It basically is like the casing that the flower is in before it opens. So it really protects it as it develops. So what we're gonna do is just come in and peel it right off. Let me just do it down here against the white, probably easier for you guys to see. Just come in and peel it. Just like I have said previously regarding tulips in one of our other tutorials, you don't want to just pull it down. You want to get in on the side, go around and peel it off, and it gives you a nice clean surface. So with the tulips, I tend not to do that for that exact reason. You don't want to pull it down. You come in with your thumb and roll the flowers with your fingers and peel it off. So I have quite a few that I did not clean, but I also have quite a few I did clean. So I'm gonna start with all the ones that are prepared. We may not actually need these. I'll clean one more just so you guys can see. We wanna highlight the tulip and the natural foliage that's there already. We're really gonna use that in our design today. So if the leaves are upright like this and still in good condition, we should definitely leave them. If they're really floppy like this, they're just gonna get in the way. So again, we'll come in with our thumb, kind of peel around, just take that right off. Okay, so we're ready to go. Now, I want to start with creating a little bit of a foundation with our daffodils. I love the smell of daffodils. I grew up in New Hampshire and this is what New Hampshire smells like. Oh my gosh, it's so delicious. So as we design, we want to give everything a fresh cut. And with our composition today, in my mind, I see it being a kind of asymmetrical, really natural freeform composition. So there'll be depth and movement with all of the elements. So let's start to just outline our shape. So as we start, we're going to start with some basic steps because basic steps help us build the foundation. So I'm cutting and I'm securing these daffodils in the vase. I'm probably cutting off about 3 inches and I'm just going around the entire composition using my Instant Arranger. I'm not gonna leave this daffodil here, but I just wanna show you. Look at that, like with the Instant Arranger, stay in place, and the Ruscus that's in there, you can pretty much position the flower wherever you want it to be. So, but we're not ready for that yet. And today, we're not using any foliage. The only foliage we're using is in the vase. We're not even gonna see it, and we're using the natural foliage of the tulip. So, because we have so many beautiful daffodils, this is acting as our base, which a lot of times when we're designing, our base is foliage. So let's just continue. A few more. I think that's going to be really good. Perfect. So I'm going to bring these in a little bit. Okay. Great. Let's just see. And as we add more stems, it also helps anchor things in place. The more that's in there. And sometimes they flop around, and that's absolutely fine, because sometimes they need a friend in there to hold them up. Okay, so we've made nice progress with our daffodils. Let's start with some of our tulips. I want to outline the shape. I can already see from here our asymmetrical shape is forming. So this will be our taller side, this will be our shorter side. So let's come in with some of our tulips. And naturally, when you receive tulips or you buy tulips, they sometimes have their own natural shape to them. So you really want to be mindful of that. Like, this is a nice strong stem that would do well towards the top. This is a nice strong, well, it's not really a strong stem. This is a droopy stem that would look really beautiful, kind of floating in on the downward angle of our cascade. So let's do that actually. And I like the fact that we can use the foliage. This I'm going to remove because I think it's going to get in the way of our vase. And I also want to show you what you can do with the tulip flower. These are beautiful, but if you come in with your thumb and index finger, just like this, and put kind of just super gently, turn them inside out. And as you do that, you transform the tulip. Isn't that spectacular? Oh, you're so gorgeous. Smells nice too. Actually, it smells a lot like the daffodils do today. But look at that. Isn't that perfect? We're gonna do that to a lot of the tulips. This is another one. I wanna come in and do that. Again, it's just the thumb and the index finger, bending things backwards. Nice little fresh cut on an angle. Now, when you're dealing with flowers like these, which are bulb flowers, they grow from a bulb. They come up in the spring. The cool water helps prolong their life. If you were to get them home and put them directly in hot water, I mean, you don't want to do that anyways, but if it was warm water, it stimulates them to grow faster. So always keep that in mind as you're working with these flowers, to use cool water. Okay, so we're just going to repeat a lot of the same steps. That tulip was so easy to open. So we have our upward angle, our downward angle, and a lot of movement going on here. This foliage is great because it's sturdy and upright. All right. I don't know about this little gem. Could be really beautiful forward facing just like that. It's so pretty. I love these colors together. There were so many different varieties of tulips to select from, but I felt like this one in particular is just so spectacular. And to be honest, I've had them for a few days, so they've developed really beautifully on their own, and that's why they're so easy to pop open like this. Oftentimes, if the tulip is really tight and fresh, and you still see a lot of green in the petal, you won't be able to peel the petals back like this. So you want to make sure that they've been drinking water for a few days and they've actually developed into their full form to be able to successfully peel them all back. Okay, let's keep going. So we see a beautiful little bend here. You know, I think we'll cut this one a little bit shorter, and we'll do a little bit of a cascade on this side, kind of anchoring our design. Pretty pretty. This is just a little peanut of a flower. So cute. All right, now we're going in a little bit deeper now. So we've got some height going, some movement happening, and let's go a little deeper. I think we'll go in with a few more of the daffodils to help fill things in for us. Again, nice and deep. I might just take turns as I go here. Peel these babies back, come in here. Pretty. And sometimes when you cut a tulip, if you like this green, you can actually use that as well. So I can cut my tulip right here, and I can use this. So let's use this. It's gonna be pretty, just kind of draping along the edge like that. And this little tulip, why don't we nestle this guy right in here? So let's see if we meet our deadline of, I think I said 15 minutes. Easier said than done sometimes. It'll probably be about 15-20 minutes by the time we're finished, just because I did a lot of preparation beforehand. So that's always very helpful. One thing I forgot today was my Lazy Susan, which would have been really nice for us to be able to spin the composition around, but that's okay. We're going to use our imagination. And one thing to remember about tulips is they grow towards the light. I'm going to worry about this one in a minute. We're going to help support him with some other flowers, but for now he can just flop around. Yeah, tulips grow towards the light, and they also develop faster in heat. So you want to keep them away from your windows, keep them away from any heaters, because they'll just develop faster. Okay, looking beautiful. Yeah, and even taking the tulips and nestling them in nice and deep is also really gorgeous. I kind of like that. Before I take it off, I think I'm going to use it, and I'm going to have him come in here and support this little friend of his, so he'll stay. Oh, so we did a wedding once, and the bride's favorite flower was a French tulip. And wouldn't you know it, something crazy in the flower world happened, and we couldn't get French tulips. The season had ended short for whatever reason. Don't really remember at this point. So we couldn't get French tulips. And honestly, when that happens, we never have the heart to tell the bride. Like, I didn't want to upset her, but we came up with a solution. We bought Dutch tulips like these, and we got them a week in advance. And what we did was we conditioned them every single day. We changed the water, we propped them up, because they grow ½ an inch a day. By the time we were done with the tulips, they were probably, I would say, this tall, and a beautiful flower. So we really nurtured them for an entire week. And honestly, they were absolutely spectacular at the wedding. And the truth is, we only needed them for one really large arrangement. So, it was good. Like, we didn't need it for 20 arrangements, because then that would have been a really large challenge. But in any event, that was just our little trick on how to turn regular tulips into look-alike French tulips. So I'm just nestling away in and out with tulips and daffodils, and I'll spin it around so you can see what's happening on this side, because you can see a lot more of the daffodils there. But to me, I just love it. And I think the use of the different depths of the stems is so beautiful. All right, I'm gonna just snip that little guy off, peel these back, and go in with some shorter tulips. I'll do a few over here, and then I'm gonna spin it your direction so you guys can see. I feel like we're at a point where we're starting to fill in, and we really wanna make sure that we don't see our instant arranger. So anytime we're designing, we don't want any of our mechanics to be visible, because that's just, you know, makes it look like it's poorly made. And that's the last thing we want. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this. wait till you guys see this. I don't want to stop, but I feel like I'm at a point where I should stop. And that's the other thing. Sometimes when you're doing this, just because you have so many flowers, it does not mean you need to use all of them. I always feel like when we're designing or if we're preparing for an event, we always have what we call our insurance plan, which is 10% extra on everything. And sometimes we need it, sometimes we don't need it. But the truth is, even though we have it, if the design looks fantastic, we don't just add it in to add it in because we have it. We want the arrangement to look perfect. So we know through experience when to stop. That's also a good thing for you guys to remember as you're creating. Oh my gosh, look at this. Aren't you so pretty? All right, like 2 more stems in the back, and I think we have created a masterpiece. So I'll tell you, with this arrangement, we have used 30 daffodils, which they were, I think, $6 a bunch. So I have 3 bunches, that's $18, and I have 3 bunches of tulips, and the tulips were $8 a bunch. So that is a steal, right? So I'm gonna add one more little gem right up top here. Give that one a little peel back. How spectacular is that? If you guys are having a dinner party, it's definitely something that's beautiful for a dinner party. If you were to make this as a gift, it would be very tricky to transport just because of the nature of this design. But in any event, I'm really happy with this, and I hope you are too. So get inspired, go buy some flowers, give it a shot. If you don't have an instant arranger, that's completely fine. You can do a tape grid. If you do a tape grid, clear tape, create like a tic-tac-toe pattern, and then you put a piece of tape around the edge of the container to hold that pattern in place. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.